Okay, folks, it is Sunday, September 22nd, 2019, and just got back from a hunt, and I have to admit that my wife had to come get me because I got stuck in a ditch. So she came and we pulled the van out, and she saved the day. So I'm forever indebted to my lovely wife, Heather, who came and picked me up in the middle of the night. So anyways, enough said about that. Let's get on to my finds for the last 2 days. Now, the last 3 days. The last 3 days I hunted Mason County and Fayette County. Fayette County, I was in Fayette County yesterday. I don't have a lot from Fayette County because I was really limited in where I can go, but I did find a really cool 69 caliber 3-ring bow. I mean, it's a massive, you've seen the video, it's just a massive round. And then I found some other kind of a rock, and I want to show it to you. So all of my geologists that are out there, please let me know what you think this is. Now, I'm going to kind of pull this down a little bit. As you can see, we're right here. And there's just tons of stuff. So I'll hold it up and I'll talk about it. And you can see I got my lucky Wounded Warriors in Action hat. Big shout out to them. And to my friends of the Military Order of the Purple Heart, of which I am the proud National Junior Vice Commander. And I'm a 3-time Purple Heart recipient. So that is life in the fast lane. So let's start with Fayette County. Fayette County, like I said yesterday, I was able to get out and find a few cool things. Let's just start with the bullet. This bullet is massive. I mean, check that sucker out. That is a huge 3-ringer bullet. Now, I've only found one. I went back to the area. So this was laying in the ground, so I could tell which way it was either dropped or fired. And I started looking at it, and it was fired because there's a nick in the top. And, yeah, this was a fired bullet. So I went to the area and walked it all the way out as far as I could go. I mean, if I would have went any further, I would have fell off of a ledge. I found nothing there. So here's my theory on this. This was probably fired by a scared sentry in the early part of the war. Probably heard something, kapow, you know, cracked this big 69 caliber round through the woods, and it missed. So, or maybe it hit. I don't know. Went right through somebody. It's massive, though. If it hit somebody, you definitely would know that. But that's a 69 caliber 3-ringer from the American Civil War. Great find. Found a few pennies. Was out there, so just some wheat pennies. And I'm not going to get too wrapped up on these. I've been cleaning these. And some of them are really, really corroded bad. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about cleaning these a little bit. Now, I use water, and people say, don't clean your coins. But I do a little cleaning with a little bit of vinegar. So, what I'll do is I'll buy this big industrial size thing of vinegar. It cost me $2 at the Dollar General store. Mix it heavy, break it down with water, because you don't want to just use straight vinegar. And I just use just enough just to brush off the top coat of dirt so I can read dates. So here we've got from Fayette County 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pennies. And I did get a handful of junk. So I'm going to have that here. I'm going to show you what I do with my junk as well. So here we have, you know, the standard beer tabs, pop tabs, pieces of can that have probably been hit by a lawnmower. Now, a lot of people just leave this stuff out there. Don't do that. Take it with you. Put it in a bag. Get it out of there because it doesn't belong there. And then you won't go back. Maybe when you go back later after the winter comes and, you know, all of those artifacts are getting pushed up in the spring next year, then you won't have to go back and refine this stupid stuff. And I have a 5-gallon bucket. I got a couple of 5-gallon buckets. And in here you can see this is where I keep all of my trash. And in it goes. And guess what? We recycle this. I mean, if I don't recycle it, there's a guy that comes by, he picks it up from time to time. And then boom, voila, there we go. Trash out. You do a service, fill your holes. You know what I mean? Do nice things like that. Okay, next thing. I found this in a creek. Okay, now I'm not sure what this is, but it's silver and it's got a little gold tone on the back, but it's heavy. And I mean, it's really heavy, and it was killing my Fisher F75 at about an 80 to 89. So this is something, guys and gals. So anybody that's a geologist, let me give you a little closer look at it there. As you can see, it just looks like a rock. I looked at it and said, it's a painted rock. It's not a painted rock. This rock was buried in the bottom of a creek, and I know right where it was at, so I can go right back and get it. So any of you geologists that are out there, take a look at this. Tell me what you think it is. And if you've got a way to test this, then I'll bring it to you. We can test it and see what we come up with. But it is heavy. Feels like it's about a pound. There's a bug just flew on me. So anyways, there we go. Now, that's all from Fayette County. Yep, not a whole lot. Now, back to Mason County. Back to my backyard. Literally my backyard. Yesterday, I went out. Or day before yesterday, I went out. Man, I had a killer day. Now, I found a lot of junk. I found this. So if anybody knows what this is, I don't know what this is, but I think that this is, there was wood that went through here, and that this is probably off of a wagon setup, you know, so possibly something that, you know, the long front poles on a wagon. That's what I think that is from. So it's very old. I found this huge half of a horseshoe, and I love horseshoes. I find a lot of horseshoes, and I keep these horseshoes. So that was really cool. And I found some nails and pieces of car and stuff. And again, this stuff may not have any value, but I put it down into my junk drawer there, along with these old can lids. I don't leave them hanging out there in the woods. Stuff like this, put it in there, recycle it, get it out of there. Old 556 brass, get it out of here. So same thing with old nails. I call these earth turds, okay? That is a name that I have coined because that's what it looks like. Looks like I'm digging up an earth turd. But this is actually a really cool big square spike. So square nail spike, probably used to put together somebody's house. Again, it's pretty corroded, so I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to put it in here in the recycle bin along with these other little pieces of metal, which I call earth turds. And it can be recycled, done something with. But I found this old buckle. Not anything super old. As a matter of fact, it's probably only about 40 years old, maybe 50 at the most. That's my grandson you hear in the background, which is a good thing. Little Kingston. So this, can y'all tell me what this is? I remember having one of these when I was a kid. It was a choo-choo train, an electric train, a Lionel train, probably from the 1950s. So a really cool electric train, set of wheels. Not a lot of value, but again, we can recycle it. Got it out of the woods, got it in there. So everybody's like, man, you're recycling a lot of stuff. Yes, I am. This, as you know, same thing that I always told you about the earth turds, an old bolt. You know, put it out of here. Now, these little square nails, I find a lot of these. And this right here is how I've come upon a cabin site. So I am suspect that the area that I'm at had a lot of cabins from the early to mid 1800s. I'm finding things that would definitely confirm that. So there's probably been, 200 years of living in this area. And so I went in today, cleaned the area out, just took a rake did a little work, you know, got the area cleaned out and found some cool things. And I'll show you those things on the next reveal. So get back with us with James McCormick and Digging History, and my partner Corbett Perkins, and my life-saving wife that came and picked me up out of the ditch today and helped pull me out. We all had a great day today. So we'll be back with more great finds with Digging History.